In a seemingly ordinary school, among typical students, there was one who refused to blend in. His name was Logan Paul. Confident, reckless, and always ready to stir up chaos, Logan was the epitome of trouble. Every day, he strutted into the halls with his signature look: a black leather jacket, a black t-shirt, dark jeans, black sneakers, and of course, his sunglasses, which he never took off. Logan Paul's days at school followed a pattern of deliberate defiance. Each morning began the same way. He entered the building like a celebrity on a red carpet, his sunglasses reflecting the nervous glances of students and the disapproving stares of teachers. Logan's presence was magnetic, his confidence unshakable. In the hallways, he was a master of disruption. His usual antics included pulling pranks on unsuspecting classmates. Whether it was switching the contents of backpacks, sticking prank notes on lockers, or casually tossing books onto the top of lockers, Logan made sure no one's morning went smoothly. The hall monitors tried to keep up, but Logan was always one step ahead, flashing his signature grin as he evaded them. Logan's arrival at his first class was no different. His entrance was grand, throwing the door open with an exaggerated bow as if he were stepping onto a stage. Students would chuckle while the teachers sighed, already bracing for Logan's antics. Today, he had brought a small remote-controlled car to the classroom, casually driving it under desks as the teacher attempted to lecture. When caught, Logan claimed it was part of a science experiment, earning a few laughs and an eye roll from the teacher. Sometimes Logan would test the boundaries of what was acceptable. One day, he replaced the classroom's motivational posters with exaggerated, cartoonish versions featuring himself as the hero of bizarre slogans like, "Chaos is the key to success." Another time, he brought a megaphone to school, loudly announcing fake school events in the hallways like free pizza in the gym, only to laugh as confused students flooded the wrong locations. Lunchtime was where Logan truly shined. The cafeteria was his kingdom, and he ruled it with his own brand of chaos. He'd cut in line, loudly critiquing the day's menu as if he were a food critic. Once he had his tray, Logan would wander from table to table, inserting himself into conversations or starting impromptu food fights. The cafeteria staff watched him warily, knowing that wherever Logan sat, trouble would soon follow. One memorable lunch, Logan decided to host a talent show in the middle of the cafeteria, using a ketchup bottle as a microphone. Students joined in, performing impromptu acts, while Logan provided over-the-top commentary and awards made from straws and napkins. The cafeteria erupted in laughter and applause, though the staff was less amused by the mess left behind. Gym class was no escape from Logan's antics. He'd deliberately fumble passes during basketball games, then blame his teammates with exaggerated gestures. On other days, he'd climb onto the bleachers and narrate the class like a sports commentator, complete with over-the-top sound effects. The coach's shouts for order only fueled Logan's energy. Once, he brought a beach ball to gym, insisting it was more aerodynamic, and tried to replace the basketball with it mid-game. Even during quiet periods, Logan found ways to make noise. Study hall was his playground for creativity. He'd pass notes with elaborate doodles, make paper airplanes, or playfully tap his pencil on the desk like a drumbeat. His classmates were torn between amusement and frustration, while the supervising teacher kept a watchful eye on him, anticipating the next disruption. One day, Logan convinced half the class to participate in a synchronized pencil tapping routine, creating a rhythm so infectious even the teacher struggled to maintain a stern face. Logan's day rarely ended without a visit to the principal's office. His file was thick with reports, yet he always managed to charm his way out of serious punishment. He'd sit in the chair, leaning back casually, offering exaggerated apologies that barely hid his amusement. The principal's stern lectures seemed to roll off him like water off a duck's back. Logan even had a nickname for the office, the reflection room, because as he put it, that's where they reflect on how much they need me around. Logan's influence extended far beyond the walls of the classroom. On the school bus, he was the undisputed ringleader. Each ride was an event, filled with spontaneous games like bus karaoke or Guess the Backpack's Owner, where Logan would hold up random backpacks and create elaborate stories about their contents. Even the bus driver, despite frequent scoldings, couldn't entirely hide their amusement at his antics. The school library, traditionally a haven of quiet, became another of Logan's stages. He would enter, dramatically shushing everyone with exaggerated gestures before sitting down to flip through books upside down, loudly commenting on how artistic the words looked. On one occasion, he orchestrated a game of hide-and-seek in the library stacks, much to the librarian's dismay. His charm, however, often earned him a begrudging smile, even from the strictest staff. Group projects were another opportunity for Logan to shine, or derail. He had a knack for turning serious assignments into comedy sketches, complete with props and impromptu performances. During one project on historical figures, Logan insisted on portraying a rock star George Washington, complete with sunglasses and a makeshift guitar. His teammates oscillated between frustration and laughter, but the class presentation was unforgettable. Even the school's extracurricular activities weren't safe from Logan's disruptive creativity. At a debate club meeting, he took the floor and argued passionately for why cats should be allowed to teach. His arguments were so absurdly convincing that even the opposing team couldn't stop laughing. Teachers began to anticipate his participation in events, knowing they would draw a crowd, even if chaos ensued. Logan's mischief extended to the school's morning announcements. Once, he managed to sneak into the broadcast room, replacing the usual announcements with his own version, complete with fake holidays like National Sunglasses Indoors Day and humorous weather updates such as, "Expect a 100% chance of awesome today." While the administration wasn't pleased, students couldn't stop talking about it for weeks. Outside the building, Logan maintained his reputation. The school parking lot became the scene of his Parking Lot Olympics, where he and his friends competed in absurd challenges like who could toss a basketball into a trash can from the furthest distance. Teachers frequently intervened, but Logan's ability to diffuse tension with humor often saved him from real trouble. Even school dances were transformed by his presence. While others followed the rules, Logan showed up with his own portable speaker, playing remixes of the DJ's playlist and rallying students into impromptu dance-offs. His energy was infectious, and though teachers tried to rein him in, the students adored him for turning every event into a memorable experience. Logan's antics were legendary, but they weren't just about causing trouble. Beneath the mischief was a boy who thrived on connection and laughter, someone who understood the power of making people smile, even if it meant bending a few rules along the way. Whether he was flipping his sunglasses dramatically, leading a chant in the cafeteria, or turning a dull study hall into a mini concert, Logan Paul wasn't just a student. He was an experience. The principal, who had become almost a mentor in disguise, often mused about Logan's potential. With all this energy and charm, he could rule the world someday, if he learns to use it for good. While Logan often rolled his eyes at such remarks, the glimmer of acknowledgement in his smile hinted that, perhaps, he understood more than he let on. One day, during a rare moment of calm, Logan surprised everyone by organizing a charity fundraiser. Using his natural charisma, he convinced the entire school to participate in a goofy talent show to raise money for local causes. It was a wild success, with laughter, applause, and even tears of joy filling the auditorium. In that moment, even his toughest critics had to admit, there was more to Logan Paul than met the eye. One afternoon, Logan decided to take his mischief to the school's art room. The teacher had left out a few unfinished projects, and Logan couldn't resist adding his own touch. He transformed a simple still life painting of a fruit bowl into a surreal masterpiece, adding sunglasses and a mischievous smile to every apple and banana. When the teacher returned, she was equal parts annoyed and impressed by his creativity. Logan also had a habit of turning fire drills into mini adventures. While most students lined up quietly, Logan would rally his classmates into playful competitions, like seeing who could form the straightest line or who could make the funniest face without getting caught by the teachers. Though the administration often reprimanded him, even they couldn't deny that Logan's antics added a spark to otherwise mundane routines. During a particularly boring assembly, Logan orchestrated a slow clap that gradually spread throughout the auditorium. What started as a simple joke soon became a full-blown standing ovation, confusing the guest speaker and leaving the principal fuming. Logan's classmates, however, talked about it for weeks, dubbing it the clap heard around the school. Logan's charm wasn't limited to his peers. On occasion, he managed to win over even the toughest teachers. Once, during a history lecture, he surprised everyone by delivering an impromptu rap summarizing the American.